Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is the sequel to Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U, which was ported to 3DS as well as a definitive edition on the Switch. It runs on the same engine as the Dynasty Warriors series of games made by Toei Tecmo. I am a huge fan of all the Dynasty Warriors games as well as all the clone games, such as Dynasty Warriors Gundam, Fire Emblem Warriors, Warriors Orochi, and Berserk. Now let's get into some of the technical aspects of the game, such as story, support skills, magics, and so on. Our story begins in an alternate timeline, 100 years before the events of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, where the forces of darkness have overrun the kingdom of Hyrule. One lone mini-guardian named Terako witnesses the entire event, who when attacked by a corrupted guardian, narrowly escapes through a magical portal that opens up at the last minute, escaping into our reality. Link happens upon Terako, who is awakened after Impa loses hold of the Sheikah state. Later the kingdom is invaded by the darkness, led by a shadowy figure known only as Astor, who bears an uncanny resemblance to Aghanim from Legend of Zelda A Link to the Past, who has also aligned himself with the Yagi clan, a band of outlaw ninjas who are all being used by an ancient darkness sealed away aeons ago. Our heroes are charged with protecting Princess Zelda, unifying the nations against the darkness, acquiring the divine beasts, obtaining the Sword of Power, and defeat the evil known as Calamity Ganon. This time around, they've overhauled the world map from being a grid-based linear map to more of a really impressive Skyrim-esque open world kind of map, where everything that you do, side quests, missions, open up restaurants, new quests to unlock new characters, weaponry, clothing, dye shops, everything opens up in the map. Really impressive to look at. Really like this new addition to the game. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity has tons of replay value. Even after you beat the game, there's still tons and tons of extra missions, unlockable characters, extra skills, combos, new costumes, missions to buff up the divine beasts, and etc. So let's go over some of the extra content. Time missions. I've never been a fan of time missions, but they're not that bad as long as you are at high level. Blood Moon missions. After you beat the game, Blood Moon missions open up, which are a straightforward mission with heightened difficulty, chock full of chests and other goodies. Combos. Some side quests increase your combos, which make you way more powerful in battle. Heart increase levels. Other side quests increase your heart count, which keeps you alive longer in battle. Support skill upgrades. Some quests upgrade the various support skills, including bombs, stasis, magnesis, and ice. Combination missions. Some quests combine the quest type, such as restricted allies, time limited, and etc. Divine Beast missions. Some quests are Divine Beast only, that usually give really good rewards. Training. Some side quests are special training for certain characters, which can be difficult, but give great rewards in the end. Story missions. Cross-sword icons on the map are the main story missions from the campaign. Increase max level. Eventually, when you've unlocked enough missions, you'll be able to upgrade your max weapon level, which makes you increasingly more powerful. Rod mission. These increase the magical rod use. Inventory missions. Some quests increase your inventory, which is much needed, because with each mission completed, you gain many weapons, which can pile up quickly. Special attack gauge missions. Some quests increase your super bar, which you can increase to a maximum of 3 bars. Enhanced ability mission. Eventually, added character ability will start to open upon the map, which can be various different abilities for each character. Merchant shops. Some shops are open from the start of the game. Others you acquire through items to unlock them. Unlockable characters. Once you beat the game, you can acquire different parts to unlock Terako. Other characters are unlocked through trials, and Calamity Ganon is unlocked after you complete every single mission on the map. The graphics in Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity are based on the graphical style from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which are an evolution of cel shading technology, which Nintendo has embraced for years in such games as Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, Mario Odyssey, Mario Sunshine, and Luigi's Mansion, just to name a few. It really fits their animated style of games, and it continues to work to this day with Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Legend of Zelda Age of Calamity is a Dynasty Warriors clone and plays as such. Like all Dynasty Warrior games, it throws you into a battlefield taking on hordes of enemies, bosses and mid-bosses alike, with varying skills and magical attacks. With that being said, let's talk about the battle system. Every character starts out with a 4-hit combo, both light and strong, and as you progress, you can unlock new, more powerful combos through side quests via the world map. You have 2 support wheels, one for magic and one for weaponry. So let's talk about the weaponry first. The bombs are primarily used to take down a mid-boss or final boss's barrier. You can also take out loads of enemies with characters who employ massive bombs. On a side note, the bombs can also take down certain outposts that contain secret rewards. The stasis ability is used to hold the enemy in place while you rack up massive damage, or extend the time it takes to whittle down the boss's barrier. The ice column is used to initiate an instant barrier takedown upon a mid or final boss. Magnesis is a huge magnet imbued with shock that pulls normal enemies into a group and uses shock to kill, or catches a boss's attack and slings it back at them. The magic consists of fire, ice, lightning, and apple, or heal, and immensely aids in boss fights because they can cause an immediate barrier takedown. Fire is the most destructive of all the magic and has a lingering damage effect. Ice damages the enemy, plus holds it in place. Like ice, lightning also has a stasis effect, but also damages all surrounding enemies as well. This is your healing abilities. Every stage has multiple mid-bosses, as well as some that guard outposts. You can take them on, head-on, which is a tedious process unless you are high level. But ideally, you have to play the dodge game to take them down quickly. Basically, you lock on to the enemy, wait for them to strike, and time your dodge. If done correctly, it causes a barrier takedown sequence. Once completely down, you can either hack them to death or press the X button to do a weak point strike, which either causes instant death or massive damage. Like the mid-bosses, when fighting an end of the chapter stage boss, you have to play a dodge game to take them down, except you have to employ magic most of the time because they are way stronger than the mid-boss. The magic causes an instant barrier takedown sequence, which you can quickly chain the super move and the weak point strike to cause massive damage. Also, if you get your timing down just right, you can trigger an ultra powerful attack called the flurry attack, where you do a rapid succession of attacks that will almost take any opponent's barrier down in one fell swoop. Lastly, we have the super move. It is a devastating attack that you can build up from landing attacks on your enemies. Once your super bar is full, you can unleash an attack that does ultra massive damage and can cut most bosses' life bars in half. The Divine Beast are 4 mechanical animals built by the ancient Sheikah in order to aid the princess and the hero in sealing away Calamity Ganon 10,000 years before the events of Breath of the Wild. Piloted by 4 champions from across the land, they pave the way for victory against Calamity Ganon. The Divine Beasts are as follows: Varuta, the elephant; Varudania, the salamander; Vamador, the eagle; Vanaboras, the camel. Each Divine Beast has 3 to 4 attacks, a basic attack that can range from a variety of different elements depending on which Divine Beast you use, a counter attack that counters and reflects the attack back at the enemy or shelters you from damage, an area effect attack that can take out patches of enemies at once, and a melee attack that, if close enough, can kill all enemies in a general area. Lastly is the beam attack. Like the super move, you store up the super bar. Once full, you can unleash the beam attack, which can destroy all enemies for miles and take out most mid-bosses as well. Basically, the Divine Beasts are Nintendo's version of the Zords from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, minus the ability to form a giant robot. I enjoyed my time with Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, as I have with all the Dynasty Warrior family of games. It fills in the gaps in the storyline from Breath of the Wild, and also leaves us with more gaps, but that could possibly get remedied with the incoming DLC that we all know is on the way. I love the game, but it is not without a couple of problems. Like most games, there's problems with the camera. If you get against a wall, sometimes you can get stuck, or get stuck behind a boss. Other problems reside with the frame rate, as do with many other Switch titles, such as Link's Awakening. But with Age of Calamity, it's just too many enemies on the screen at some times for the Switch to handle. That being said, I love this game, and I think everyone should have it in their collection, especially if you're a Zelda fan. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity gets an 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching till the end. I really appreciate it. Feel free to check out any of my other content. I do gaming related videos, voice acting, fan films, and from time to time I do faith-based content. Like, comment, subscribe, and press the bell icon. This is YouTuber BioArmor79, signing out.